Welcome back to Push the Pace podcast. My name is Sam Phillips.
My name is Riley Tracy. This episode, we talked a lot about FIBA hoops and top 10 players, current players in the league right now.
Yeah, we went deep into the FIBA standings. We talked about pool play for the first beginning of elimination games, so that was really fun. We got off topic a little bit today, but it was a lot of fun other than that. I think you'll find our top 10s interesting. If you think that we missed out somewhere in our top 10 or something like that, leave it in the comments. Let us know.
Check out our other socials. We got TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, if you want to go check that out. We also upload these podcasts to Spotify. Let's talk hoops. All right, first we're going to be hopping right into the FIBA World Cup, which is going on right now. I think yesterday and today was the first days of elimination games.
Yeah, first days of elimination games. There's been a lot of heat over there. It's been really fun basketball. If you haven't got to catch it, look up some highlights. Try to catch the next game if you can. But as of so far, what has happened, Germany beat Australia. Dennis Schroeder had 38-1 in that game, which is pretty insane. He's been going crazy so far.
Yeah, every summer he tends to go off with Team Germany. There's just a different motivation for playing for his country, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I saw someone on Twitter in the comments say if he played like that against the Nuggets, they would have had it. The Lakers would have had a ring. And yeah. I don't disagree. He's going kind of crazy.
Yeah, if he played like that on any team, it'd take any team to the next level.
Yeah, 100%. In the loss, though, for Australia, Patty Mills had 21-6-5, and Josh Giddey had 17-3-1. So they were still hooping. They just couldn't get it done. And the next game, the Dominican Republic beat Italy 87-82. Karl Anthony Towns had 24 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists.
Yeah, Cat's really putting that team on his back.
Dude, he really is.
I think he's the only NBA player on that team.
I think there's one or two more.
Okay.
But
not stars like USA has.
Yeah. So, for example, Andres Feliz is also on the Dominican Republic. I don't believe he's in the NBA, but he had 24, 5 assists, and 11 rebounds, which is pretty insane.
Yeah. Europe basketball or overseas basketball is just more fun to watch, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's more super fun to watch.
It's more gritty.
100%. It's a lot more physical, too.
Yeah.
In the next game, there was a huge upset. Japan upset Finland.
Yeah, I've been seeing this 5'8" point guard tearing up Finland.
Yeah, dude.
Highlights. It was pretty cool.
He's been killing it, and it's awesome to see something like that. People who train their whole lives, not in the NBA, don't get recognition, and then they get to come out and show up for their country like that is amazing.
Yeah, like the kid from Jordan, right? There's the one that's been honoring.
Rondé Hollis Jefferson. Shout out to him. He has been balling. He's wearing number 24. He said that he had God and Kobe with him.
Yeah, I saw him.
He's averaging a crazy amount of points.
Yeah, he's averaging 31, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if an NBA team hit up his phone after this tournament.
Yeah, get him a nice. Yeah, especially the G League or not G League. Summer League is going to be starting, or like the summer workouts, I guess.
Yeah, something like that.
10-day compete for a roster spot.
I can definitely see someone like the Suns, like a team that needs depth, reaching out to him just to give him a shot. You know. But back to Japan versus Finland. Lauri Markkanen in the loss had 27, 1 assist, and 12 rebounds, which is pretty crazy.
Especially straight out of serving in the military.
Yeah, straight out of serving in the military.
I wonder if his hair grew back yet. I haven't seen it yet.
It has a little, to be honest. Yeah. I'm pretty impressed. But in the win, Josh Hawkinson, shout out to him, not in the NBA. He had 28 points, 1 assist, and 19 rebounds for Japan, which is insane. Him playing like that at the center position. There's a couple teams in the league that I know could use a center like that.
Yeah, I looked him up before this. He's a big old center and playing over. He's playing in Japan right now.
Yeah,
that's another player. This is a good opportunity. The FIBA, seeing
100%.
all these NBA scouts watching him, that's a good opportunity for him to be seen in the league.
He's putting up numbers.
He's already 28, but he's still young.
Yeah. And then the 5'8" point guard you mentioned, Yuki Kawamura. He had 25 points, 9 assists, 1 rebound. So he's balling out. I believe he balled out last game too, which kind of got him on the radar. So that's awesome to see. Next game, Slovenia versus Georgia. Slovenia beat them 88-67. Luka Doncic.
Yeah, he just plays on a different level. Every summer he gets in shape for the World Cup. It seems like we're foreign basketball.
He had 34 points, 6 assists, and 10 rebounds today.
Yeah, I woke up early and watched that game in Team USA play today. It was fun basketball to watch.
Man, he's insane. He's on another level. podcast just dropped, Paul George today, and he was talking about how Luka's time is now. Yeah. And I don't think it's a coincidence that he had this game today. What do you think? Do you think his time is?
Yeah, he will be the face of the league once all these older guys get out of the league.
You think so?
Yeah. And you look at the NBA, how there's all these eras. There's a Jordan era, Kobe era, LeBron era.
You think it's going to be a Luka era?
Yeah, I think it's going to be
That's what they're going to label it?
Just like on 2K, they just had the new video game. The eras drop. I think it's his era now.
Yeah, that's a good take. The next game, Canada versus Lebanon, was a fun game. Canada dropped 128 points, which is a lot for European basketball. Beat Lebanon 128-73. RJ Barrett had 17 points, 3 assists, 1 rebound, and Shea had 12 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and Kelly Olynyk had 12 points, 5 assists, 8 rebounds in the win.
Canada's loaded. They are loaded. They have so many NBA players on that team, and it's insane.
Don't forget Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks is on Canada. Yeah. Spain versus Brazil. Spain beat Brazil 96-78. Santi Aldama, familiar name, 15 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds. And Willy Hernan Gomez, 14 points, 2 assists, 5 rebounds. They showed out in Spain's win over Brazil.
Spain's always a good team in foreign basketball.
Yeah.
They always show out. They have there's not a lot of NBA players. They have some, but it's these Spain guys that play like Real Madrid and all that. They just show out every year. Shout
out Pau Gasol. Yeah. And obviously we have the USA game versus Greece. They beat Greece today, 109-81. AR-15, Austin Reeves himself, dropped 15 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Anthony Edwards had 13 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. And Jalen Brunson had 13 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds.
Yeah, Austin Reeves has been showing out this summer.
He's been going crazy,
which is it's insane.
Yeah.
Lakers really found them a gym right there.
I'm not going to lie. I watched a lot of Lakers games last year, and I watched Austin Reeves. The dude can hoop. But I thought personally that Lakers fans were overrating him a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like, man, he's a really good high-end role player. He can get buckets. That's awesome. But they're kind of, they're leading a little bit too far astray with him,
Yeah.
But he's really made me shut up in this like USA run. Like he's going insane. Him and Anthony Edwards.
He's outplaying players like Jalen Brunson, which is a star point guard in New York, which is insane to me.
Yeah, and shout out to Jaren Jackson Jr. as well. He's playing great defense. I saw the clip where he blocked Thanasis Antetokounmpo twice in like a span of 10 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, but I heard he's being too aggressive and getting in foul trouble.
Yeah. So if you're not aware, JJJ and Steve Kerr has this little back and forth going in the press. Steve Kerr said something about he needs to stop being as aggressive so he stops getting in foul trouble. And Jaren Jackson Jr. said something along the lines of, you either want me to be great or you want me to not play aggressive. You got to pick one.
It's just that Grizzlies Warriors rivalry, building and building.
Yeah, that could be. That could very well be it. But there's definitely some egos getting in there. But
Greece, they're really missing Giannis, it seems like, this summer.
Yeah. Speaking of Giannis, he actually said, I believe it was yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
Said something about he does not want to sign an extension with the Bucks if the people there do not show that he wants a championship as bad as he does. So that's something to watch for. That's huge news because Giannis being on the market would be crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if you think it'd be a trade or he would just sign somewhere else.
No, I think he would just
sign somewhere else
if he doesn't sign an extension.
Yeah.
I mean, they could try to trade him in his last year of the contract, but that's a huge trade package.
Yeah, then if they don't stay healthy this year, that could really frustrate them as well. Because I know Chris Middleton's been was injured almost all last season.
That was their storyline last year,
which would suck, and that would kind of frustrate him if they're not having another deep playoff run.
Yeah. I mean, I think that they're still capable of winning it.
Yeah.
But like you said, you nailed it on the head. Like injuries just keep getting in the way. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But him saying that he wants to see other players and other people wanting a championship as bad as he does, take time away from his family like he does, that kind of raises some more questions than just injuries to me. Yeah. That makes it seem like that there's some players there that aren't really taking everything as serious as they should. That's what pops up in my head. I don't know about you.
Yeah. It's hard to really tell because that team doesn't have a lot of media showing them. So they kind of like fly under the radar until like highlights or ESPN games come. You don't really see a lot of it on them. But I really don't know, honestly.
Yeah, it's definitely something to watch as it comes up. What teams could you see Giannis wanting to play for if he were to leave?
With him loving the Bucks like he does, I could see him not wanting to go to a big market team.
Really?
Yeah, he would. I could see him wanting to go to one of these young teams that have a bright future and want to win a ring. Even like a Dallas Mavericks, they could make a push for him. They have in the past. They wanted to draft him.
Kyrie, Luka, and Giannis. Didn't they pass on him in the draft?
Yeah,
Oh, that's crazy. So
they drafted his brother in hopes of getting Giannis, I believe, because Kostas used to be on the Mavs, I think.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised to see him go to like an Indiana.
Yeah, they love their basketball there.
Then if he did go to a big market, I don't think it'd be like the Lakers. It'd be like the Knicks or something.
You think so?
Yeah.
I could see him somewhere along the lines of, like you said, small market teams.
Yeah.
I could see him going somewhere with just a bunch of, like, when you think of young players who just get after it. I'm thinking OKC.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see him pair with Shai. I know we talked about the possibility of him and Embiid in the last pod. But Giannis with Shai would be probably even better.
Yeah.
Maybe something like, I would say the Jazz, but that fit would be kind of weird.
Plus, they're in a weird little stage of rebuilding.
Yeah.
They're on the edge of blowing it up, but they
Yeah.
keep on getting these little assets, and like they were good for a little bit last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're ever just going to blow it up completely.
Or Giannis is also a person who has a deep respect for coaches, so I can also see him wanting to go play for Pop, maybe, and going to the Spurs.
He also loves Jason Kidd.
Does he?
Yeah, remember when Jason Kidd
he
for the
gave
Bucks?
him credit. That's right. Yeah. But yeah, that'll be very interesting to watch. In other free agency news, PJ Washington signed a $48 million contract with the Hornets. I believe that was either today or yesterday, one of the two.
The next biggest name is Christian Wood. He still hasn't got nothing. I think I've seen that he's only been offered a minimum vet mid.
Yeah, something like that.
That's bizarre to me.
Yeah, there's still a couple free agent names. There's nobody. I don't think there's really anybody huge out there, free agent wise. But regardless,
right now everything's waiting for Dame and Harden and see what's happening. Then everybody else will fall in their place right now.
That's what I was going to say. That trades have to happen. The Dame trade, the Harden trade. These trades have to happen before anything gets solidified, and these free agents choose where they want to go. Or they could just think that it's not going to come through till the trade deadline and just go pick a place too. So I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'm curious to see.
All right, next segment we're going to be hopping into is we're going to be comparing our top 10 players in the league right now. So we're going to start off with number one. I wouldn't be surprised if we both have the same person. I think he's the best player in the league.
How are we doing this? You giving your number one, I'm giving my number one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So number one, I have Jokic.
You have Jokic as your number one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who do you got?
Any reason why?
He's just the best player in the league. This playoff run or the whole finals run he just had, you just really saw a different player. He can really control the game. He'll be in the post. He can find someone on the other side of the court.
Mm-hmm.
He's hitting these crazy shots. He's falling back, just throwing it up, making it in. I've just never seen anything like that. It's crazy to watch. He's just on another level right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, we agree so far. My number one is also Jokic. But I did it because of the insane finals performance he just had, playoff run, whatever you want to call it. He's just dominating every area of the floor. You kind of just hit that. Some of the shots he makes are just crazy. You look at it, you're just like that doesn't even make any sense.
And he's not excellent at defense, but he's a big body, and people are aware of him in the paint. That's awesome. There's some superstars that aren't anything in the paint right now.
Yeah. And one of the most fascinating things about the Joker is he's just one of those dudes that doesn't look like a hooper.
Yeah.
But he'll give anyone, buckets. Your favorite NBA player, he'll give them buckets.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's just chilling in his home country, racing horses right now. He doesn't look like an NBA player.
Dude, yeah, he is partying. I don't know if you see the video circulating through Twitter.
He was 2 nights ago out of the club out there.
Dude, I saw one today of him out in the street dancing, shirtless. Yeah, I'm like, has this dude touched a basketball since they won a ring?
I wonder if Aaron Gordon's still out there with him.
Yeah, bro, it makes me wonder: is he training at all? Does he care? Oh man, that's funny. All right, who's your number two?
Number two, I have Giannis.
Giannis
Giannis is just an unstoppable force in the league. He's ginormous. No one can stop when he's driving. He's starting to gain a three-point shot more consistently, and he's also a defensive player of the year, which is all-around player right there.
Mm-hmm. So we still agree so far because my number 2 is also Giannis. I personally think that if it wasn't for Jokic's dominating performance in the playoff run, that Giannis would be my number 1. I believe that Giannis is just the scariest player in the league. Like, I'm thinking of if I'm in the league and I'm thinking of who I don't want to guard the most. I'm thinking Giannis.
Yeah.
He's huge. He's athletic on top of being huge. The amount of distance that he gets in one step is amazing. I don't know if you've ever even thought about that or noticed it, but if you look at his highlights, you'll see him take a step at the three-point line, and his next step is halfway in the paint.
Yeah, I've seen clips of him drive like a fast break, and he takes his last dribble like near the half-court line and gets to the bucket still. It's
because he's so long, dude. And not only that, but he has strides, like long strides. You know what I mean? Like he's able to reach, and his Euro steps are crazy too because he has so much distance.
He has a good understanding of slowing down when he drives too sometimes, which is very nice to have.
Absolutely. Who you got for your number 3?
Number 3, I have Luka Doncic.
Really?
I just think we haven't seen an offensive talent like him before. Just like Embiid, he can pass the ball insanely. There's just not a way to stop him. He plays at his own pace. He was on the TV just then right there. I haven't seen anybody in the league be able to stop him. And you see these podcasts all the time talking about he's that guy. He talks trash. He deserves to talk trash. I just think he's that guy.
Gotcha. Okay. So this is the first one that we disagree on because my number 3 is Steph Curry.
Yeah.
I think that Steph has done so good. I mean, he's obviously the best shooter ever to be in the league. He just said on the podcast the other day he thinks he's the greatest point guard of all time. Some people disagree. Some people agree because some people don't even think he's a point guard, but I disagree with that myself. He is a point guard. He's just a point guard who knows how to shoot extremely well. And it's worked for him, obviously. I mean, you can see the dynasty he created in Golden State. I think that even as he's aging, he's still adding on to his game. Like Draymond talked about during their finals run last year. How he was still adding to his bag and getting stronger, and he's able to like stay on his path instead of letting defenders knock him off his path to the basket and different things like that. And he's still dominating. He's still Steph Curry.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if he has the ball or he's off ball. You have to worry about him no matter if he's in those lines. You have to worry about him. That's
a great point. His off-ball game is just as good as his on-ball game because I don't know if you've watched Steph Curry off the ball, but dude is running circles around the court trying to get open. Like literally running circles.
Yeah, like it's a cool world we're living in with the NBA. All these players on podcasts, you see what they actually think now, and people will talk about he's the worst player to guard because you're just chasing him the whole game.
Yeah, you got to have some conditioning to want to guard Steph Curry.
Yeah,
it makes me wonder how Kyle Lowry did it.
He had a haul behind him running too.
Yeah, for sure. Who you got at number 4?
I have Embiid at number 4.
Embiid at number 4. So you still don't have Curry?
No.
Ooh.
Curry's a little bit farther down, in my opinion.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Embiid, he's the MVP. He's just another force that's unstoppable. You really can't stop in the post up. His defense is immaculate. I think he shouldn't deserve that MVP, but he's still a really good player. I don't think he was the MVP this year.
Wait, why don't you think he needed the MVP? Or he deserved it?
I mean, he deserves to be in the race, but Jokic still, I think.
You think Jokic should have got it?
Yeah, there's just I forget what people say. It's
voters fatigue?
Yeah.
You think it was voters fatigue?
Yeah, I just don't think they wanted someone to be back-to-back-to-back MVP.
Yeah. I guess I can see where you're coming from. But don't forget that MVP is a regular season award.
Yeah. I mean, the Nuggets, what seed were they?
I mean, you're right. You're right. No, 100%. My number 4 is Luka Doncic. Your number 3. I think that he is a genius on the floor. Watching him in FIBA, watching him in these playoff runs in the past years, Like I said, I mentioned Paul George saying that he has now. Steph Curry mentioned in a podcast the other day that he thinks Luka's next, and he thinks that he's on the precipice of all these different awards and stuff. Like the greats know. They know who Luka is. They know what he's going to be. And Paul George even said something about him being potentially one of the GOATs of basketball, one of the greatest of all times. And I'm excited to see what he does. I think the Mavs still need to do some more building around him, but I think with the right pieces, I think Luka could turn the Mavericks into a dynasty.
Yeah, I also just saw, like you said, the greats see, like they know who he is. Michael Jordan, his brand just signed him to be the face of the contract. I think they just extended him. I saw on Twitter the other day. Like they want him to be the face. They know he's he's here already, but he's going to be in the league forever.
Yeah. To round out your top 5, who you got?
I have LeBron.
You got LeBron.
Yeah. Both.
You think he's better than Curry?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
It's LeBron James. There's not much to say.
Mm-hmm.
He's up there in age now. I don't know his age off the top of my head, but he is still LeBron. He's adding on to his game. His three-point shot has gotten better the last few years. I just think he's getting older. He is slowing down a little bit, but the more he slows down, the more he adds to his game, I feel like.
Yeah.
And which is just excelling him to be one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. At my number 5, I have Joel Embiid. I put him below the other 4 just simply because I think that the other 4 above him are more likely to win a ring. And we're talking top 10 players here. So I put those other 4 above him because that's who I would take on a team before I would take Embiid. Embiid is very dominant. Don't get me wrong. He's very dominant. He's one of those people in the league that it's almost impossible to stop him from getting a bucket or getting to the free throw line because he's so big that people have to foul him. Like how many teams have somebody on their roster that could just straight up guard Embiid? It's not many.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's definitely insane. So yeah, he's going to round out my top 5.
And Embiid, he gets on that free throw line all the time, and he consistently knocks down his shots.
Yeah, he's a great free throw shooter.
Yeah.
But it is going to be interesting to see if he stays happy in Philly with all of this stuff going on.
This is his second superstar making a big old scene like this. I don't see how you're happy there with the management.
Yeah, I mean, look at everything he went through, right?
Yeah.
Like it started with Markelle Fultz, and then it went to Ben Simmons, and then they had a few great years together. Ben Simmons played great. I still think he could be a great player if he ever got over his mental humps.
Yeah.
Brought in Harden, had Jimmy Butler. He went through all these things and nothing to show for it except one MVP last year. And it just really makes you ask, is he going to want to stay there any longer and continue trusting the process like he has for the past 10 years? Or
well, it's not in his Twitter bio no more. So.
Not in his Twitter bio, so that's kind of scary. Scary if I'm a Philly fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 6. Who do you think it is for me?
Who do I think your number 6 is?
You see in my top 5. Who do you think number 6 is?
I'm trying to remember because we've been talking for a little bit. Give me your top 5 again.
I have Jokic, Giannis, Luka, Embiid, and LeBron.
Jokic, Giannis, Luka, Embiid, LeBron. Okay, it has to be Curry now.
Nope.
Wow. Who do you have that's better than Curry at 6?
I have Jason Tatum.
No way. No way he's better than Curry.
I know.
Don't get me wrong. Boston fans, do not come to my neck, please. Jason Tatum is great. He's an amazing player. He is not Steph Curry. And even you listening to this knows that. Okay.
All right.
So why do you have him over Steph Curry?
Hear me out. Jason Tatum, he can get buckets pretty easily. He can drive. He's a big body. He can play the post. He can shoot. He has his little sidestep 3. Who would you rather have guard the other team's best player, Curry or Jason Tatum?
That's true, but who would you rather have shooting the ball at the end of regulation with a tie game or down 1 or 2?
Defense wins championships.
Does it? Oh, did the Nuggets have a great defense last year? They actually did have a good. I'll take that back. But they did have I don't think they had a great defense, but they had a good defense.
They had a pretty good defense.
They had a good defense. I think our offense outweighs defense in this league now.
Yeah, that's true. But
Steph Curry is not a bad defender, though. Jason Tatum is a good defender.
Yeah.
But Steph Curry isn't a bad one.
Steph Curry is not a bad one. It's just Jason Tatum's not a terrible offensive. He has a bag. He can get buckets pretty easily in this league.
Yeah, but he has too. For me personally, again, Boston fans are going to come for my neck. I think he has too many games where he just doesn't show up.
Yeah,
like he'll have a game where he drops 40 and he locks up the best player on the other team and he looks great and everybody's talking about him, everybody's raving about him. Then the next game he'll shoot terrible efficiency and only have 12 points, and it's like, where'd he go? You know what I mean? He has too many of those games for me personally.
Hello, TikTok.
It's the truth, though. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not a Boston hater. I like Boston.
No, you see it. During his playoff runs, there was games where he disappeared completely.
Exactly.
Then he would come back the next game, drop 40, and he was like...
Yeah. And you can't say the same about Steph. Sometimes he'll be a little off, but he still impacts the game.
If Steph is off, I feel like it's because of injuries.
But Steph impacts the game in other ways too, just because of who he is. The whole defense gravitates to Steph because they don't want him shooting the ball. That's every team's game plan. Don't let Steph or Clay shoot the basketball, right? So even when Steph's missing, they're still focusing on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Who do you got at 6?
6. At 6, I have Kevin Durant. Yeah, I have Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, in my eyes, has gotten too much hate lately. Because of this whole Brooklyn saga, super teams.
He's one big toe away from being a 3-time NBA champion.
Who knows? He could have won that ring that year. He very well could have.
Yeah, he probably, if they won that ring, that Brooklyn trio would still be there.
Really? You think so?
I think so.
Well, like I was saying, I think he's gotten way too much hate lately. I think people give him too much slack for being on as many teams as he has, which I agree it gets to a point where it's like, come on, man, another one. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not like you want another trade request. You know what I mean? But at the same time, he's still, I think, a top 3 scorer in NBA history. He's one of the people in the NBA history that you can give the ball to, and it's a guaranteed bucket if it's a one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? If they have to double him. They have to double him in certain spots.
I've seen KD fade in the mid-range, falling out of bounds, make that bucket too many times.
He's ridiculous. And for him to be as tall and as long as he is, it makes him nearly impossible to guard. So, Kevin Durant's a top 6 player for me. I still think he's that guy, even though most people do not.
All righty. You ready for my number 7?
Let's hear it.
Who do you think it is?
Man, I don't know. You're going to have to keep reminding me of your 6 because we keep going off on tangents.
Steph Curry's not in it yet.
Steph is not at 7 yet.
Oh, he is. I mean...
Oh, so it is Steph
Iguodala?
Iguodala.
All right, yeah, number 7, I do have Steph.
Okay.
We've been talking about him for a while now. His off-ball, on-ball presence is unspeakable. Mm-hmm. He's the greatest shooter of all time. Mm-hmm. He's up there in the greatest point guard talks. I don't know if he's the greatest. Mm-hmm. Mr. Triple-Double might be up there for number 1. Stephen Curry. And it's crazy. Yeah, like you said, he's getting up there in age and he's still adding to his game. Just like LeBron, these older players these older great players, the older they get, the more they add to their game. And that's what changed it. Like, there's older players in the league that don't add. They just stick with their, like LaMarcus Aldridge. There's really not much for him to add with what type of player he is, but he didn't really add anything, so he just stayed consistent at that way he was. Yeah. But these like top tier, older superstars, they add on to their game.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of LeBron, he's my number 7. And Lakers fans, before you come for me for having him at number 7, I think 7 is a fair ranking for LeBron James in this league. For as old as he is, obviously his performance has not showed his age yet. His scoring, kind of maybe taking a tiny dip, but his playmaking has gone up. Yeah. He finds ways to make up for what he's lost. And the people I have above him, like, listen, Jokic, Giannis, Luka, Steph, Embiid, KD, I think that they're all more efficient than him, mainly, is why I put LeBron at 7. I think they're all a little bit better scorers than him. But don't get me wrong, LeBron is still that guy. LeBron is still able to help AD take the Lakers on a deep playoff run like he just did last year, Western Conference Finals. I think they could do it again easily. I think they have one of the best teams.
He has a better team around him.
He does have a better team as of this offseason. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the finals this year.
And if you think about it, they rebuilt their team at that trade deadline.
Yeah.
Now they have an off season together to actually gel their chemistry, which they just thrown it together and still made that Western Conference run.
Yeah, absolutely. And God forbid any injuries from happening. I think that I wouldn't be surprised to see them in the finals again.
Yeah. It's LeBron.
It's LeBron.
How many more rings does LeBron need? Or is LeBron your GOAT yet?
Is LeBron the GOAT?
For you?
LeBron is the GOAT. In my eyes. But that's a totally different. We're going to get off our top 10 if we get into this. Because, wait, is LeBron the GOAT for you?
No, sir.
He's not?
No.
Oh, we can't do that because we're going to go off for 20 minutes. Okay, who's your number 8?
Number 8, I have KD. Like you said, he's an unstoppable force. He can get you a bucket whenever you need. He's getting up there in age, but he's still unstoppable. He has a chance to go win another ring this year with his team he has.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're just so deep, and they have Booker around him. This is no, it's not. This is the second best team he's been around, in my opinion.
Second best team.
Yeah, Warriors is up there, number 1. That was a dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this team is better than Brooklyn, which went to the Eastern. They went deep in the East 1 year in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. I actually disagree. I think the Brooklyn team is better than the Suns team he's on now.
Yeah.
But it's mainly only because
their depth.
Their depth. Yeah. They have Bradley Beal now, and we know that's gonna be terrorizing on the league next year. But I still think Kyrie, KD, Nick Claxton. I think that Royce O'Neal, shout out Royce O'Neal, very underrated by the way. I think that team's better than what they have.
Yeah, I just the way they built their roster around after their main guys, I don't see how they got some of these guys to agree on a minimum deal.
Yeah, 100%.
I guess it's ring chasers.
Yeah. So for my number 8, I have Jason Tatum. So you had him at what? 5? 6. Okay, so I have him at 8. Like I said before, I do like Jason Tatum. He has nights where he drops 40, he locks up the other team's opposing star. He's a great player. I have him at number 8 for a good reason. I think that if they continue to build around Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, I'm a believer in they should not split them up. I know there's been smoke at the trade deadlines every single year of splitting them up. I'm a big believer that they should not do that.
Yeah, I don't see how that's even an option.
Yeah.
They gel so much together now. They've been together for 5 years, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And there's games that they dominate other teams just themselves.
Yeah.
Because teams don't have an answer for them. I think that adding KP to the roster is going to make them really good. I think it's a good move. It's a good leap of faith. But I still feel like they're missing something. I don't know what it is, but I still feel like they're missing something.
Yeah. On to number 9. This one might shock some people. I don't think it will. I have Shai.
Really?
Or Shea. I don't know what. I'm getting some hate on Shai or Shea.
Yeah.
I think it's Shea.
Yeah, we'll go Shea. At number 9?
Yeah.
Wow.
The league is in a good place. There is so much talent. This was a hard top 10 to make, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is.
But he just blew up last year. I think he was in the top. Was he the most improved last year?
No. I forgot who was the most improved, but I don't think it was Shea.
But he was up there in the talks for it. He blew up last season. He was
All NBA.
Yeah, All NBA.
All Star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I think he was per drives. He averaged the most points in the league, which is for a guard is insane to me.
He's crazy athletic, and his explosion is incredible.
Yeah. I just think he was good last year. I just see him taking another step next year, and he's gonna be a main face in the league for a while.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I hope that they continue to build around him and get good pieces around him, and hopefully they cash in on those picks for somebody.
Yeah.
Because as much as I would love to see them continue to draft great players, it would just speed it up so much if they just went for a star and to put around Shea.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Chet and Shea pick and roll. That's gonna be fun to watch.
Oh, dude, I'm just excited to see Chet play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the Rookie of the Year race will be closer than we think.
I think it will be.
Yeah,
personally. So my number 9, I don't have Shea in my top 10, but I do like that you put Shea. Shea is a great player. My number 9 is none other than Jimmy Buckets himself. Jimmy Butler's at number 9 for me because he continuously proves people wrong, and I love that about him. People were so quick to count him out last year. Whenever they were the 8th seed, some people were saying they wouldn't make it out of the play-in, and they did, and they got to the 8th seed, and they're like, okay, well, they won't make it past the Bucks.
Yeah.
Made it past the Bucks. They upset the Bucks, which was crazy. They beat the Celtics.
Which that got a little scary for a little bit. They went up 3-0 and they almost lost that series. But.
Yeah, they kind of let their foot off the gas. Yeah. But Jimmy Butler proves time and time again that he is him. You know what I'm saying? Like he plays immaculate defense. He has that Mamba mentality that you just love to see. Like he has that switch that he could just turn on. You saw it when it went in the Celtics series versus Grant Williams. When him and Grant Williams got into each other's face, all of a sudden he starts dominating. He just flips the switch. You know what I'm saying? Like he's capable of doing that in any given game, and I think that he is one of the top 10 players in the league because of that.
You think if the Celtics series, if they would have swept them and didn't let their foot off the gas, you think they would have had more energy and Denver Nuggets want to have as much of a rest? That final would have been more competitive?
No, I think Denver takes it regardless. Yeah. More competitive maybe, but I still think Denver wins.
Yeah.
Denver just had the better overall team, if we're just being honest.
They didn't really have a Jokic stopper.
Yeah, I don't see that. I mean, who does have a Jokic stopper? You know what I'm saying? But I don't see that changing much. Yeah. So who is your final person in your top 10?
At number 10, I have Damian Lillard.
Damian Lillard.
It's weird. Top 10 player he's not on a team. Like he's on the Trailblazers, but he's not going to be playing next year, which is weird to me.
In
Portland, but I don't know where he's going to be. It's just Dame, when he flips his switch as well, he can get a bucket anytime. It's Dame time. He can
100%.
He has range like crazy. He's just the offensive bucket, and no one can. He's slowed down a little bit with his age, but I think no one can still stop him.
Yeah, I mean, he's still one of the best players in the league. I agree.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. I know everybody knows he wants to go to the Heat.
Yeah.
That's a given now. But the Portland Trailblazers are saying that they want to listen to other offers because I don't think they necessarily like what the Heat's offering.
Yeah.
If he doesn't go to the Heat, where do you think Dame would fit best other than the Heat? Where would you like to see him play?
If we really want to shake some things up, we can make like
Philly.
Yeah. I don't know. Next to Joel, that'd be a nice little duo.
Yeah.
And having Tyrese play next to him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what else makes sense. I know James Harden's gonna be out of there soon.
Mm-hmm. Let me throw something at you. I saw something. This was a hypothetical. It's nothing that has been rumored, but I saw something on Twitter along the lines of the Bucks should trade Drew Holiday and a couple picks or something to go get Dame and have a Dame Giannis duo. What do you think about that?
That'd be unstoppable.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think they win a ring?
So yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't know because Drew literally really anchors the defense.
But you just got to think about Giannis. You already can't stop him.
Yeah.
Put Dame out there. That spreads the court even more than Drew Holiday does.
100%. Drew Holiday can shoot though.
Yeah, but
he's not Dame.
Range.
Yeah.
That'd be must see TV.
Gotcha. So for my number 10 to round out my top 10, I have none other than Donovan Mitchell. So shout out to Dame, shout out to Shea. I just think personally Donovan Mitchell is better. And some other honorable mentions that I thought about, Devin Booker and even De'Aaron Fox were in my thought process for this top 10. De'Aaron Fox deserves it in my eyes. Some people may turn their nose up at that, but he's one of the most underrated point guards in the league.
Yeah.
And I'm sick of the De'Aaron Fox slander. But Donovan Mitchell made it for me. He made the cut for me over those. And the reason why is because of his performance last year. He proved that he can still dominate games. He had a 70-point game last year which is crazy. Yeah, and some people are going to say Devin Booker also had a 70-point game, but that was years ago when they weren't even making playoffs.
It was just Devin Booker on the team too. He had the opportunity to.
Yeah, and there was no other people on his team as well. Yeah, that's true.
Donovan Mitchell has a solid team around him right now.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell. I think that he. Some people may find this debatable, but I think he has one of the deepest bags in the NBA. He's up there with Kyrie, with his bag level. He just has so many moves that he can go to, counter moves after that, and his shot is crazy. Like
he's so explosive too.
So explosive. That's what makes him dangerous.
Yeah.
I'm sad. I'm kind of sad to see how the Jazz era ended with him and Rudy Gobert, because I feel like there was something there. I think they just butted heads. I don't think they really liked each other as much as they put on.
I felt like it was like 4 years in a row. They just they were good regular season team, and they got the playoffs, and it just didn't happen.
And it got to the point where they were just trying to force that duo and just try to like throw pieces around them. But I'm glad that he got out, but I'm sad it ended that way. I hope Donovan Mitchell can. I like there is some trade smoke that, or not even trade smoke. There's rumors that he might leave Cleveland after this contract.
Yeah,
and I don't know where he would go. The rumored destination is the Knicks.
That's before Cleveland. That was the rumor as well.
Yeah,
they've always been pushing to get.
He said in an interview that he thought he was going to the Knicks, and then whenever he got the call that he got traded to Cleveland, he was very surprised.
Yeah,
which is pretty crazy.
He's really blown up in Cleveland, though.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's just done nothing but prove that he still got it, and he can still be the main guy on a team.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see where he goes from here, and I hope he succeeds. I want to see him succeed, man.
All right, y'all. So that's all we got for today. I'm excited to keep on watching some FIBA basketball. It's really competitive, gritty basketball. I really like watching that. We'll keep y'all updated with that if y'all continue to watch with us.
Absolutely, and we will continue monitoring the trade situations, Dame, Harden, see what's going on from there. Stay tuned. Our next pod, we have our first special guest. We're looking forward to that.
Yes, there's another guy we met playing basketball. We've grown a close connection with him.
Absolutely.
Let's talk hoops.